Hello everybody and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out Haemo by developer Daniel Linson. This is an action exploration game with a bit of an interesting twist, and one that I don't think I've really seen done too many other places. The concept here is that every single time you die in this game, you're going to be leaving a pile of blood, which will allow you to see a little bit further into where you're going. Because basically you're playing as a bright pink ghost in a completely blank world where everything is white. And the only way to find your path through this and not be constantly killed, which in a way you kind of want to be constantly killed, but you also want to make progress too, you will be tracked down by these little white ghosts that are going to be completely invisible against the white background. So by dying and leaving blood trails and shooting blood at things, you're actually able to open up a way. And it's a really neat premise, and I think it's pretty well executed. It just might be a little bit on the frustrating side, but why don't we give it a shot, and we'll let you be the judge. So we're going to click to continue, and this is what we're presented with here. We've got our little blob ghost, and we'll just move around a little bit so you can see what's going on here. So there's a couple of UI elements to be aware of. We've got 3 hearts that are nestled up in a bunch of bars that are slowly ticking down, and those ticking down bars are how much of this blood that I can expel. You'll notice they go slightly faster as I move, and also if I hit right-click, I can shoot an entire nugget of that bar away, and that was actually one of those white ghosts that I mentioned. They'll kind of sneak up on you rather stealthily, and it's a bit of a problem. So we've got to do our best to make some progress, try and find some capsules and pills and things that do various functions. I know one of them extends the amount of blood that I have to expel. I think one of them might also make the trail that I leave a bit thicker, so we'll be on the lookout for all of that stuff, and I think I did just pick up one of them, although I'm not sure which. But there we go, I just died for the first time, and every time I die, it resets all the counters back up to full, and the search begins anew. So using left click, I'm going to try and attack the ghost that I can now see, and look at that, I got a big thick blood trail there, so I'm going to use that to my advantage as best as possible. Try and make sure that I have some delineated edges to be able to see, and I thought I saw a ghost going around that corner. Oh, I think it got stuck on something. So there we go, I didn't take any damage on that one. Defeated another ghost, and I think the ghosts are primarily the only enemy we're going to be facing in this, but still, there are, well, actually I don't know that, to be honest. I've only played this for about 3 minutes, and I didn't get very far, because it's, like I said, pretty difficult. There's a lot of time spent running into walls, and it looks like that ghost actually leaves a white trail to counter your red trail, which could be a bit of a problem. So we want to make sure that we, splatter our blood on things as often as possible to try and find new paths through the area. Oh no! I went so far, but, ended up just dying in the middle of nowhere. So the concept is pretty easy to get a handle on. It's not very complex in terms of what you're going to be doing. Oh, why do I have a halo above my head now? Before I had cat ears, it looked like. I wonder if they just give you, like, a random effect above your head, like, just to offset that you're a different character now than you were a second ago. Or maybe if you die enough times, you just get certain things. Okay, well, that didn't last very long. The area looks quite large. Oh, I don't have anything on my head this time, just my eyes to look around. But yeah, I've kind of walked off in random directions for quite a while, and sometimes you go very, very far. So I'm not sure if there's going to be... Oh, geez. Maybe some more interesting set-piece moments that'll happen as we get further in. But, the more time we spend, the easier it's going to get. So basically, the idea here is just keep throwing yourself at it until eventually you have a pretty good viewpoint as to where you can and can't go. And I kind of resonated with this concept for a game in general. Oh, you'll see, okay, that ghost totally was having, like, waving arms, and that's why it leaves that trail behind it. But I had this idea, actually, a very similar idea for a premise when I was doing Meat Boy level editing. And it actually created a level where essentially the only way to find your way across some invisible platforms was to kill yourself over and over again. And that was back in my Lime Key chapter. What is that? There's some text on the floor here. There's like a 3-dot predator targeting syndrome, or marker, and then KH, FI. So maybe there's a bit of a riddle going on here as well, which is kind of an interesting premise to add to the whole thing. I just don't know if I'll be able to stick with it long enough to be able to figure out everything, because it seems like I'm not making a lot of incremental progress, but I am at least reinforcing some of these trails, and I could be, like, pushing up against these walls to make it a little bit more obvious where the edges lie. But then if I get these ghosts with a white background going behind them, that's going to be a bit of a problem for me as well, because they're kind of going to undo all the work that I've been doing, right? I could also be using my blood splat pattern, although I'm not sure it's necessarily all that helpful. I kind of wish the amount of blood that you could expel was a lot greater than it actually seems to be, because it seems like the amount of progress you make per death is very minimal, and I think I may have finally found my way in for that capsule, so I'd really like to go see what that's about. I imagine this could also be very interesting if you get extremely good at whatever it is you need to memorize about this. You could just go in and try and just make a one run, just like straight through the whole game without actually like leaving trails for yourself, which could be kind of entertaining to watch too. Okay, get this ghost out of the way. Got another pill. You'll see my blood trail has thickened. I'm gonna use a splat here. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's gonna get me. I can't see him. Where'd he go? Oh, there's multiple. Oh, no. Oh, he got me anyway. The distance that your character attacks for also is super small, so if you don't have, like, really good reaction times or be able to see way ahead of you, it seems, I don't want to say necessarily imbalanced, but it seems kind of like the odds are not in your favor at all. Well, I guess that is an imbalance, isn't it? But, you know, still, I don't mean it in a malicious way, just sort of like, kind of wish I got a better weapon. Other than whatever this swipe is. Alright, well I did just get a permanent extension to my blood meter, so that's good news. It means that I'm going to potentially have more ability to leave trails and all of that. Although that blood meter looked like it didn't get longer with extra chunks, it looks like it was just one nugget that adds on to the end, because what I was thinking is if you get a bunch more chunks, maybe I could just keep spraying blood on everything like that. But I think if I do that the very first time when I spawn... Oh no, it doesn't actually deplete. I thought it was just to each one of those increments on the bar, so I guess I was a little bit mistaken about that. But you'll see there's quite a bit of red now, and we should actually be able to hopefully make a path into some new areas, and it looks like there's... What is that? Oh, wow! I haven't seen that yet. That's pretty exciting. Alright, so there's gonna be big old blood bombs to look out for. Now I'm just hoping maybe I could find some extra health power-ups, because 3 isn't going to cut it at this rate. I'm not doing so hot. Anyway, I think you kind of get the premise of Haemo. It's a very interesting concept, and I definitely do want to play this further on and see if maybe I could finish this whole thing. But I think it's going to require a lot of dedication, and for the purposes of this video, probably not quite the right format. However, I do definitely encourage you guys to go check it out. It's going to be completely free if you want to go give it a download. The developer has expressed interest in maybe going back to this and adding like controller support and more sound stuff, as well as perhaps more content, so I'm all for that. Controller support does seem like it would be a good fit here, although being able to turn quickly with the mouse seems pretty useful as well. But I guess you could just sort of make it like A or right trigger on the 360 controller, and then just have it be like whichever direction you're facing with the right stick. It'll function sort of like a twin stick shooter or something like that. Although, you know, if I had like a projectile instead of just this little slash move, even if it didn't go very far, I think I might be kind of into that. Also, in case you're like me and you want to make a video or anything like this and you find yourself needing to reset, you can't actually reset it without going into that user's local data roaming. I can't actually remember the full path. But there's, you know, that users, and then there's like a bunch of app data, local roaming, something like that. Just look around in there. You'll find one with the correctly named folder, and then just delete the contents of it. I kind of wish it had a reset option from the main menu, but, you know, I guess you can't have everything. Even still, pretty cool game, very cool concept, neat approach, actually surprisingly interesting to look at, but I do wish it had some music, perhaps. But, you know, give it a shot. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to come back again tomorrow, because new episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day. So I look forward to seeing you again for another one tomorrow, and I hope you have a fantastic night. I'll talk to y'all later.